Hi, this is Dr. Les, and welcome to another episode of I Bought a Farm. Now what? Yesterday, I put a video up on YouTube, and that video described us preparing the heifers and getting the heifers ready for sale this Saturday at Bluegrass Stockyards in the Central Kentucky Premier Heifer Sale. With me today on this Zoom and in this YouTube recording is Mr. Jim Akers. Jim is the CEO at Bluegrass Stockyards. And Jim, welcome to I Bought a Farm. I appreciate you joining us.
Good to be with you.
So one of the things this series, Jim, is designed really for people that are very new to the business, that have purchased some property or rented some property and are kind of trying to get their feet wet in the beef cattle business. And the owners of these heifers that'll be in your sale this weekend were exactly that. They had 30 acres. They wanted to figure out something to do with that acreage. Wanted to make a little money if possible, right? I mean, you never know. And it's a hill farm, so they didn't have too many choices. The good thing, Jim, is they had fence and they had water. Two good places to start. So what we did was we bought some heifers, developed them, and got them pregnant, and they are ready for your sale. About a month ago, the owner and I sat around. And we tried to figure out what the best way to market these cattle were, and I decided to encourage him to put them in a heifer sale. Why in the world would someone want to put heifers in a known heifer sale like the one you're conducting this weekend?
Well, here in Kentucky, especially in a couple other states around the country, these heifer development programs and these organized heifer sales have developed quite a reputation and take a lot of the risk and the chance out of people buying heifers. They've come to rely on them and actually wait for them. And the combination of the quality program and the job that these consigners do of getting these heifers grown, developed, the bulls that they're breeding to, I mean, it draws a lot of interest. And when you combine that with the advertising and the communication with our customer base that the stockyard brings to the table, it has certainly been the preferred method of selling these program heifers. And for the last several years, we've been conducting these types of heifer sales for different groups around the circuit in our different barns for probably 15 years at least, I guess. And they ebb and flow with the cattle market. It's a cyclical business, but the heifer market has certainly been good of late and is on an upswing, as is the rest of the cattle market. So I think it was a good decision, a smart move. I guess we'll know late Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you looking at for the sale? What kind of describe the heifers? Describe the program. What makes it not necessarily unique for heifer programs, because we have, like you mentioned, we have 7 or 8, 10 different heifer sales throughout the state. But if someone was looking to purchase a heifer, why would they come to this sale this afternoon or tomorrow, Saturday afternoon?
Well, for instance, this sale Saturday, there'll be roughly 250 heifers here. All of those heifers will calve within most of them will calve in a 30-day window, 45 days at most. When we sort the heifers up, we try to sort them by size, color, quality, and also by breeding date, to try to have each group that comes in the sale ring be just as uniform as possible. One of the things we've learned over time in these sales is, not everybody calves their cows exactly when you guys tell them they should. Some people like to calve at different times for their own good reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, we'll have everything from early September calvers to late October, early November calvers in this offering. But when you buy a pen of heifers, they'll all be the same. And people like that. They like to be able to come to these sales. There'll be 4 consigners here Saturday. So, it's not like, hundreds of people are hauling heifers in here and just chucking them in a sale. I mean, this is a planned, orchestrated event. We've been working with these producers for months ahead of these sales, gathering data. The heifers you guys are bringing, you all emailed that data in here today. We've got it all plugged into our computer system, and we're ready so that, as those heifers get sorted and pinned tomorrow, we'll be able to generate a sale catalog and have it for everybody Saturday morning to look at and know exactly what the heifers are, how many of them will be offered together in groups. And we'll typically offer each lot of heifers that comes in the ring, generally be 2 to 4 head in each lot, uniform calving dates, uniform size, uniform type in those heifers. We watch real close for disposition. If we have a handful of just really gentle, calm, almost pet type heifers, we'll try to put those together, because some people, that's a big selection criteria for them. If we've got some heifers that are a little more nervous, we'll try to put those together, because there are some people that's not that big an issue for them, and we'll try to sort them to where they can make those management decisions on their own.
It sounds great. So, talk about the requirements a little bit. I mean, everybody that's followed the series knows that, we vaccinated out the yin yang, we've done modified lives, followed up, wormed them. We did pelvic checks, reproductive tract scores, the whole business. What are your minimum requirements to make the sale?
Well, it's fairly simple. I mean, most of it is, if you were keeping a set of heifers for yourself at home and you're a good producer, it's basically the things you'd be doing yourself. Solid vaccination program. I won't go through the whole thing, but obviously these heifers have been on a year-long vaccination program leading up to the breeding and their ultimate pregnancy. Internal and external parasite control. These heifers had to be a minimum size for their breed type before they were bred. So we don't end up with, heifers in here that are 5-6 months along that are really not big enough. These heifers will sure be big enough. I can guarantee you that. The heifers have had to be pelvic measured and meet the basic guidelines that the state has put out. They have to be bred to cost share eligible bulls and through the CAPE program here in Kentucky. So they're basically high calving ease, low birth weight type bulls. Most people are going to use Angus bulls on these heifers, and we'll have the EPDs on all those bulls available. We'll have cost share available on all these heifers, and that's a big selling point on them as well. And then, as we go through the last preg check and all that on these heifers, we do an actual on-farm screening of all these heifers for disposition. We look at their eyes to make sure they don't have pink eye scars that are going to cause them problems down the road. Any structural defects or abnormalities, we call those heifers out. And, we'll watch them really close as we handle them tomorrow and start getting them ready for Saturday. If we've got heifers that come in here and act up from a disposition standpoint, I mean, we're certainly not above sending some of them back home. It's generally not a problem, but if they're going to show out, they'll generally show out when in the process of being hauled and sorted here at the yards and with crowds around and all that. You'll figure out what they're made of pretty quick.
What time do you think people ought to get there for the sale on Saturday?
If people want to really walk through and look at the heifers, I'd encourage them to be here by probably 10, 11 o'clock. We'll move the heifers into the stack alleys, and they'll be pinned exactly how they're going to sell and in the order that they're going to sell. So you'll be able to walk through with your catalog and look at a pin of 2 and a pin of 4 or whatever, and know exactly what they are and kind of mark your catalog for the groups that you're interested in. The consigners will be here as well to answer any questions about their cattle, and we'll start the sale promptly at 1 o'clock.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'm planning on being there for the Bought a Farm heifers, so that ought to be a lot of fun for us. So, any last thoughts before we wrap up?
No, well, I guess working with Bluegrass here for roughly 15 years, and then UK prior to that, I've got a lot of ownership, I guess, in these programs over the years from having worked with them as a consigner myself. My time and extension of working with these marketing programs, and now with the stockyards, it brings a lot of pride to me to be able to be a part of an organization that offers so many value-added opportunities for our customers. We lay awake nights dreaming of ways to offer people those opportunities and work really hard to make them possible. These heifer sales are a lot of work. There's a lot of data to handle, a lot of information to get out. The advertising side of it, we work social media really, really hard on these sales, and that's been super successful for us. And it's really fun to work with a good, cohesive group of people that agree on what they're doing and how they want to do things. And we look forward to Saturday and hope a lot of folks come out.
Yeah, I know Todd and David really well, and probably started working with those guys 15, 20 years ago. So I know it's going to be a great set of heifers. I know Bluegrass is going to do a fantastic job. You guys always do a great job, everything you do out there. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see him go. I think it's going to be a great day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a great day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and one last thing, Les, before we get off here, I really applaud you for doing this series, because one of the most frustrating things in my job is to get that call from a producer, or they come staggering into the office, and they bought a farm 2 years ago, and they have gotten hooked up with the wrong folks or been taken advantage of. They bought cattle, it didn't work. And they come in and they say, help me fix this deal. What can I do? I applaud you for doing this, because it creates an opportunity for those people to get some information, whether they come to UK or they come to us, to get to those people before they make all those mistakes. Yep. and get a chance to get these folks started off on a good foot it's big. And I really appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, actually, this series has been a lot of fun. One of the, you've been an extension, a round extension for your whole life. And one of the biggest questions we get now, for the last 5 to 10 years is, what do I do? Where do I start?
Yeah.
So, where do I get my information? All that stuff. And so we tried to cover all those bases in this series. I hope it's been fun for me. I mean, I've enjoyed the heck out of it. And the last satisfying part is that I've made a new farmer.
Sure.
These guys they've enjoyed it. They're going to continue to do it. I've got them set up now where they've got contacts to how to buy heifers, where to get their vet work done, all that stuff. And so they're set and ready to go, and they got an opportunity to at least break even, right? From now on. I think this year they're going to do pretty well, but we'll see. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, Jim, for showing up tonight for this YouTube. I'll try to get it out this afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow when we deliver the heifers, and I'll see you Saturday in morning. And I can't wait for the sale. Appreciate it, Jim.
Forward to it. Thanks.
That's about it. Thanks for joining us on another episode of A Bought a Farm. Now what?